the muscles and also to improve the range of motion. We work on those things together, but then also the patient can work on them on their own. They can follow a set of exercises, and that's where it's really key to have family support, because it gives them something that they can do together.
Usually during the therapy session, we will we'll do some role play. So we'll help the patient to visualize themselves in different settings. For example, in a restaurant, how would you order your food? When you go to Tim Hortons, how would you order your coffee? So we will help them to be prepared that they will go back to the community, so they will be engaging in these activities.
And it's always really satisfying for the entire team to see somebody who came in and maybe they were on a feeding tube, and we gradually were able to bring them back up where they could have normal, regular food, and we're able to remove the G-tube, the gastric feeding tube, and get them back to a diet that they can sustain for the rest of their lives going forward.
If dietary restrictions limit your dining with others, consider planning social events without meals, or eat before the function. Eat facing a wall in a restaurant if you're embarrassed about how you look eating, so that you feel more comfortable.
People can be understanding about the issues, and by re-engaging in social interaction, it's getting back to part of that, what they view as their normal life, what they used to be. They still have that potential to be that person, but there's still there's some changes, but they can still be that person.
Managing swallowing problems properly is important after a stroke, and maintaining good nutrition is critical to health. Eating well is vital to a successful recovery from a stroke. Good nutrition also helps to prevent another stroke.
A poor diet and poor lifestyle, for example, if you had ate a diet high in saturated fat, or you ate a diet high in salt, or like we most do in North America, we eat a diet both high in fat and salt, that contributes to disease processes like high cholesterol, coronary artery disease, diabetes, getting round around the middle, and all of those things are risk factors for a stroke.
Here are some tips for eating well. Plan meals and snacks. Eat high-fiber foods and drink more water. Limit saturated fats and trans fats. Eat less salt. And follow Canada's food guide.
Making changes to the amount of fat that we take in is going to make a change to cholesterol levels. It'll make a change to the size of pants that we wear, perhaps. Maybe our waists will get a little bit smaller. And there is a really high correlation between the size of the waist and heart disease and stroke. It's one thing to say to the person, you need to make healthy choices. You need to do this and this and this. It's quite another thing for that patient to chime in and say, I do eat fries once a day, and I think I could replace that with a baked potato. Having the patient be involved in their own choices and their own changes that they're willing to make is really powerful.
Dietary limitations do not need to stop stroke survivors from trying new foods. Stroke does not have to rob you of important contact with friends and family. A small amount of planning can offer big rewards in both enjoyment and good health.
For example, if we're talking about increasing fiber intake, which can help to control cholesterol levels, for example, someone who's eaten white bread and white rice and things like that all their lives, it's a really hard change to make, to suddenly suggest, why don't you try some whole wheat or whole grain bread? What I would suggest there is try half and half. The next time you cook rice, cook half white and half brown. When you make a sandwich, try half a white slice of bread with half a brown or whole grain slice of bread, and work your way up from there. It's those little changes that are going to make it easier in the long run for people to make lasting, permanent changes to their lifestyles.